Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here. It is officially time for March Madness to begin here in about 3 hours. I do want to do maybe 4 or 5 more speed run brackets, just giving some different hypotheticals on potential Final Fours. But I also want to begin this video by taking a look at the games because that is most important to kind of analyze these. You can see we did have Grambling with a very nice comeback, 88-81. Of course, the narrative now that Grambling will beat Purdue is out. I don't think that'll happen, but it would be amazing for the sport, let's be honest. And then you also did have Colorado, surprisingly low-scoring game over Boise State. Not really loving this one considering a lot of us have Florida to go deep. You know what I want to check? I want to see if they have the line for Colorado and Florida right now. Yeah, see, this is Florida's -1.5. So a lot of us have Florida into the Elite Eight in their first game. And this is technically accurate. They're -1.5. That game's taking place in Indianapolis. But, you know, I still do like Florida. It's just they're a very low floor, high ceiling team. All right, let's get to the games today. Is there a good window to watch? I think I'm going to go live at around 6:50. If you guys don't know how this works, there's going to be an early window of games, like a really early window, 12 o'clock, like 12:15, 12:40, 1:30, 2 o'clock. Then there's going to be another window. Then there's going to be a small break, like a dinner time break. And then there's going to be 2 more windows, an early window, like an early night window, starting at 6:50. There'll be 4 games, probably happening by 7:40. And then the last final 4 games will all be around 9 to 10 o'clock. But you do have an 8v9 matchup. Good matchup here. Michigan State sitting -1.5. I do think Michigan State is probably going to win this game, but I am not confident. You know, I know people like Michigan State to go on a deep run. It's understandable. Take a shot in the dark. You know, if you get it right, it's going to pay off hugely. How about Duquesne involved in the second game against BYU? BYU is underseeded because they cannot play on Sunday, and Duquesne is overseeded to kind of facilitate this game. So this is really like a 12v5 game, kind of interesting. That's why BYU is such a big favorite, -9.5 in that one. I would probably take Duquesne with the value plus 9.5, but I don't feel confident in it. This is very interesting, guys. So Creighton has fallen by 3 points. I believe they opened -14.5. Maybe they did. Maybe they were -13.5. Either way, and I came out and I said, I really like this Akron team, possibly in an upset. Creighton and Akron. Could we get another MAC school pulling off a big upset, the 14 over a 3? That's the first potential upset I'm watching, but we got some garbage early today. Long Beach State, Arizona. I do not think this is going to be a competitive game. This will be your 83-60 type game. No offense to Long Beach State. You know, we'll see. They're a fun name. Wagner, North Carolina, 1v16 at 2:45. So 2 o'clock, 2:45, 3:10, Morehead State, Illinois. There's some people putting money on Morehead State, it looks like. That line's down to 11.5. I just don't see Illinois losing. They've got too good of an offense. I know their defense isn't great. Maybe Morehead catches lightning in a bottle, but those are 3 games I think that are probably going to be blowouts. This is the one game where I could see this Akron-Creighton game. I could see a potential upset. Oregon, South Carolina. We're all picking Oregon, and now the 11 seed is the favorites over South Carolina. Dayton and Nevada is very similar. Those are back-to-back virtually pick-em games. The 10 seed is the favorite over the 7. There's good value on Dayton if you take them in terms of your bracket. Not that it matters too much because I don't think anyone is picking Dayton to go very far. Colorado State and Texas. I would be, either way, it is what it is. I honestly think either Colorado State or Texas could beat Tennessee. And I have Tennessee in my Final Four. I just think they're kind of a wobbly team. But Texas is sitting -2.5. Colorado State won the first 4 game. That's how they got there. By the way, this is the late night window. So this is 6:50. Decent game to start the not the late night window, the early night window, where probably I will be live for these games reacting to them. Oakland and Kentucky. 13.5 point favorites for Kentucky, not surprising. McNeese and Gonzaga, good window for that one. 7:25, Gonzaga -6.5 potential upset. You do have South Dakota State and Iowa State with Iowa State -15.5. Could that be, imagine we get 2 15s over two today's. I don't think that's going to happen, but that, Long Beach State and South Dakota State, St. Peter's and another 15-2. So those are back-to-back pretty bad games. And then the really late games, NC State, Texas Tech, only -4.5. I like Texas Tech. Really good value because nobody is picking Texas Tech because of the momentum that NC State has. Kansas only -7.5 against Sanford. I'm guessing Kansas is probably becoming good value to pick because everyone is against them because of the injuries. And then Drake and Washington State. Drake, the 10 seed, the slight favorites there. But looking at my tournament challenge, I will be just creating some different brackets. And I guess I just go up here to create another bracket. Should I zoom this in to at least that? Yeah, so when it comes to like me speed running brackets, a lot of this is like who do I want my Final Four to be? Well, in this one, I do want UConn to go to the Final Four because I've done a few brackets now where I've had Auburn over UConn. I'm going to have Houston losing early in this bracket. This is just kind of a fun thing to do. I'll have them beating A&M. I'll have Wisconsin beating Duke. Duke beats Wisconsin, and Duke beats Houston in that region. We're going to have Marquette going, Colorado beating Marquette. Kentucky, we'll pick NC State, we'll pick Kentucky, we'll pick Colorado, kind of as a Cinderella out of that region. I'll pick UAB in this one. I'm not high on UAB, but just for the sake of it, we'll do it. We'll pick Auburn. We will pick, we'll pick BYU in this one. Illinois, BYU beats Illinois. I'm just doing random different things right now. Iowa State advances. BYU beats Iowa State. Kind of an interesting matchup there. So UConn, a Final Four team. Duke makes the Final Four in this one. Trying to just do different fun concoctions, I guess you could say. Mississippi State in this one beats North Carolina. I am going to need probably another one. Yeah, we'll have Purdue going to the Final Four in this one. You have to keep it at least semi-chalky. So if this is going to be like a 4 or 5 seed, I'm going to need, and there's a 4 seed right here, I'm going to need a 1 seed to scale and balance the seeding, things like that. I am high on St. Mary's, so this is just because of this is a different bracket, so I'm going to go Grand Canyon. But there are a lot of people. Listen, St. Mary's analytically is a dark horse Final Four team. I'll do one with St. Mary's in the Final Four, but in this one we will go Grand Canyon to go on a nice Cinderella run. Yeah, we'll have Grand Canyon going all the way to the Elite Eight. In this one, I'll pick Clemson to win because I never picked them to beat New Mexico. I mean, New Mexico is like the favorite in that game. Nevada, Dayton will go Dayton. Arizona will go there, and then Arizona will have them move on. Yeah, I think that's nice. I like how that's scaled. We will have TCU win that game. We'll have Gonzaga win that game. We will have Kansas win that game. We'll have Oregon win that game. We'll have Akron win that game. We'll have Akron beating Oregon. We'll have Colorado State winning, Tennessee winning. Yeah, I kind of like this bracket, I'm not going to lie. Gonzaga versus Kansas, we'll have Gonzaga. And I believe that is all of those filled out. We will have, in this one, it's hard to say, we'll have UConn going against, well, I don't want to pick we'll have UConn going against Purdue, and I haven't picked Purdue to win, so we'll go with Purdue to win in that one. And I will just keep rapid fire creating these brackets. UConn, let's say UConn gets bounced early in this one by Auburn, because that's kind of what people think could happen. San Diego State wins. Let's say South Dakota State upsets them. Iowa State, I mean, I think it's possible. It is unlikely. Absolutely, it's unlikely. Auburn beats Illinois out of that region. Just filling some of these in. We'll go Texas Tech goes deep. In this one, we'll go Texas Tech. We'll go Florida. Marquette there. Texas Tech. Houston. Duke. And then in this matchup, if I have Auburn in the Final Four, probably going to want Houston. A 1 and a 4. North Carolina, Michigan State, North Carolina. St. Mary's. Bama. We'll have Bama. We'll have Bama go on a deeper run in this one, even though I don't like Bama very much, but you're just trying to get different concoctions just for fun, possible scenarios that could happen. I don't see Arizona losing early. I mean, you could do the New Mexico thing. Yeah, maybe we'll have New Mexico go to the Final Four in this one. Very unlikely, but why not? New Mexico in a 4v11 game against Auburn, and then Auburn wins that. Houston wins there. Let's fill out this region. Let's have Utah State beating Purdue. I mean, it could happen, with the way Purdue has been in the tournament. We'll have Samford winning there. Samford going on a run. We'll take South Carolina. Creighton, kind of go chalky with that one. Yeah, let's have Creighton go on a deep run. I haven't had that. We'll have Texas beating Tennessee. Creighton goes on a deep run. Utah State goes there. Creighton wins that. And there's kind of a unlikely Final Four, but I will go with Auburn in that one because I haven't picked Auburn yet. Is there any other legitimate teams I haven't picked? Let's just go through this, fill some of these out. Kind of obvious in this upper half. It feels so chalky. Maybe it's not. Duquesne will have with an upset. There we go. Duquesne goes on a Cinderella. Amazing. Iowa State ends up beating Duquesne. Auburn. Well, I guess that is very chalky. UConn beats Iowa State. We'll have Iowa State go to the Final Four. I haven't had that yet in any of my brackets. We'll have Wisconsin win that. We'll have Duke win that. I do think Duke is going to beat Vermont, honestly. Florida, Marquette. Yeah, I haven't had Marquette go deep in anyone. You're trying to just do different combinations just for the fun of it. Some different potential scenarios that could happen. Boy, this is as chalky as it gets. But two seeds. I normally don't like doing 2 seeds into the Final Four. Here, we'll do North Carolina as a 1 seed from this. And then from here, maybe I go Oregon as an 11. Or I'll go Texas. I'll go Texas to the Final Four. Texas to the Final Four is fine. Creighton versus Oregon. Let's say Creighton wins that. Say Kansas wins that. McNeese goes on a run. TCU, Purdue. Mississippi State. We'll go St. Mary's. Charleston, New Mexico, Baylor. We'll go Nevada there. Arizona. Some of these, I think I filled out all of them now. Final Four, we'll go North Carolina taking on Texas with North Carolina. What a weird bracket that is. That's another one. I'll fill out one more. Just speed run through brackets. UConn should have Stetson winning, like legitimately pick Stetson. It's just impossible, honestly. We're going to have UAB go on. It's just, there's no way UAB's going on a run. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's so hard. Should I have FAU winning? FAU going on another run. Why not? BYU, Illinois, Washington State. I like Washington State. Yeah, look at this crap. We'll have BYU going to the Final Four. How about that? We have to have it chalky on this side if we're going to do BYU. You want to balance the regions. Balance. I'm James Madison. I haven't picked them to go on a deep run yet. Today, I did, in my real bracket, I did Texas Tech. We will have going semi-deep Colorado. We will have Marquette going. And then Houston beating Marquette. The bottom half. Let me just think about my Final Four team from here. We're actually just going to... Should I have Baylor going to the Final Four? I feel like no one is picking Baylor. There's no way I can have Alabama in the Final Four. It just doesn't make any sense. But I have the 3-seed Baylor technically could make it. They've got a good enough offense and a good enough defense. Yeah, we'll throw Baylor into the Final Four, even though I don't think it's going to happen. Might as well. Dayton, Arizona, New Mexico, Bama, St. Mary's, Bama, Michigan State, North Carolina, Baylor beats them. How is this scaled? 6v3. Maybe I do a 1v1. No, I'll do Tennessee. Because I haven't done Tennessee yet today. We'll throw Tennessee into the mix. TCU wins that game. Purdue wins that game. Gonzaga, Samford, Gonzaga goes on a surprising run, we'll say, in this one. We'll have South Carolina holding serve. Akron wins. Akron goes on a Cinderella. And I think that's done now. BYU versus Baylor. We'll have Baylor in the national title taking on Houston, with Houston winning. So you just see how I'm doing just random different potential scenarios just for fun. Obviously, none of this will count. It's just, it'll be interesting to see where some of these finish out in terms of your potential Final Fours. This one was kind of ridiculous, BYU versus Baylor. Although technically, with the trend we're seeing with the lack of 1 seeds into the Final Four, I guess something like this could be realistic. A 6, a 3, a 2, and a 1. Kind of scaled pretty decently. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.